thinking to myself, you know, Warren had this way, and he said this himself, you know, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. So along the way, we had to kind of, with Trish and the rest of the family, we kind of polished up some of those memoirs and some of those stories and made them a little bit more accurate, because they weren't. Some were, some weren't. But it has been mentioned before about, you know, the good guys and the bad guys, and being his sister, it was always better to be on the good side of him, because there were certainly times when I was not on the good side of him. But mostly yes. But I mean, certainly his kids went through the same thing. Really, there was a big doghouse. But one of the things that he thought he would like to do at some point was to give a party. And he was going to have this wonderful tent. And half of the tent would be simply beautifully decorated. And those people would be getting champagne and caviar and, you know, all the good things, steak. And then there would be the other side, which would be really horrible looking. And those people would be getting, you know, water and, you know, dog food. I probably not that. But anyway, he always really liked to separate people into the good guys and the bad guys. And some of us traversed back and forth between good guys and bad guys. So, you know, I started thinking about what are the different adjectives that could have been used over the years for Warren. And you know, you just go through zillions of them, and you heard a lot of them today. And he was a mensch, you know, that is. But he was self-effacing, he was passionate, he was competitive, and how. He was persevering, he was successful, he made money, he was benevolent, he was altruistic, he was philanthropic. Then there were some of the things that I wouldn't ever have attributed to him. I wrote some of them down. Patient, right? Easygoing. Approachable. It depended who you were, whether you could approach him easily or not approach him easily. But he was, what I really loved about reading in the oral history was that it didn't make him into a saint. He was not a saint. And I think that's what made him so incredibly wonderful. He was a human being. Actually, as early as recently as today, Warren's name was mentioned in the San Francisco Chronicle, and I don't know if any of you saw it today, but in Leah Garchick's column, she wrote a column about Pier 24, which is a museum for photography that is down right on the waterfront, and I would encourage you all to go. It's free. You just have to make a reservation because they only want a very limited number of people to go. But in this column, she wrote about how Warren Hellman did for music in San Francisco what the Polarans did for art and photography. So I'm looking forward very much to reading this oral history. I think sometimes we should maybe do a second one that is completely unabridged and can tell stories that certainly his grandchildren would like to hear about the times that he was in jail, which was more than once. But anyway, I am truly looking forward to it. I think it is the oral history of a very remarkable individual. Thank you.